unbelievable.
What?
All right, I friended you.
Nat, it doesn't always have to be a cosplay. You just, in some cases, you just need alternative looking clothes.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I just don't typically have, like, hippie things.
well, let me show you. I'll send you pictures of what Suzanne wore, and maybe it can give you an idea of what to do.
Facebook has accepted the stream.
The history of the Larrabee family is very fascinating.
YouTube has accepted the stream.
Okay.
And Twitch has accepted the stream.
And Twitchell. Okay.
Okay, are you ready to go on the air?
We are ready.
You see the timer at the bottom.
Yes.
When it says on the air, you're on the air, okay?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Oracle of Enlightenment Vortex. I'm the observer, Sal Monaco, along with Natalia.
Hello.
Say your last name again.
Koiro.
Quiro. Natalia Quiro. And, of course, Ann Burka.
Hello.
Due to circumstances beyond our control, we will not be presenting a audio play tonight. Therefore, our regulars, Rachel, Lena, and Brandon, have stepped out for now. So the three of us will be bringing you some interesting things throughout the show. But beforehand, I have to start with a very sad thing. One of my oldest and dearest friends, Dr. Louis Buxy Singh, has passed away. I've known him for 39 years. I introduced him to his wife. I stood up at his wedding. He was there for me when my parents died. I was there for him when his parents died. And I never expected him to be gone now. He was 3 years older than me. He was one of the smartest men on this planet. He actually taught me how to write. Something back in the 80s that people weren't able to do because of my learning disability. They didn't even believe I had a disability back then, and they didn't check for disabilities the way they do now. So Lewis was the only teacher who was able to actually get through my disability and teach me things. Even, he was a friend from a club, and I never actually took any of his classes, but we spent days on end with him teaching me things, and it was amazing. And we spent many a year having meetings, having parties, attending different activities, and he was a mathematician. He was a sports fanatic as well as a sci-fi geek. He was the author of some of the best fan fiction, Doctor Who fan fiction out there. Death by Decree, The Time Planet, Journey into the Interior, Gospel of the Daleks, and the one that had 2 hockey teams. You thought I liked characters. He had enough characters in his for 2 hockey teams. He was very good about dealing with fandom politics and dealing with a lot of things, and he was so addicted to the sports that if any of his students called him during the Bills game or the Sabre game, they would fail instantly. And he told them that. He also told them that he didn't take attendance, so it was their job to get the work and get it done. They weren't going to be penalized for not coming to class, but if they didn't have the work done, they were definitely going to be penalized. He had a temper, but he was also, and he was very opinionated, but he always knew how to defend his opinions. You know, he never talked out of his, you know, he always, anything he said he could defend with facts. And the biggest thing I'll miss about him is having someone to actually have those discussions with, because a lot of my friends are either very opinionated or do not actually understand the things that Lewis knew. And he was amazing with the things he could do. But he's going to be greatly missed. He wasn't big on having his picture shown and stuff, so I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to say the words of he will be missed. He is one of 3 mentors of mine that have passed. And I will miss him. He was more than just a mentor. He was a very dear friend. And, you know, half a good portion of this country is mourning the loss of Louis Singh. So he's up there in heaven now and probably having a meeting with the first 3 doctors. And he actually wrote a script for Doctor Who and submitted it, and it was actually used in an episode several years later. And he really loved chicken wings too. That was another big thing for him. So my heart goes out to his family and to his wife, Liz Singh, who you all know as Dr. Actually, I'm so up, I can't even remember what her character's name is at the moment. Mary Sue, that's it. Dr. Mary Sue here on the Oracle of Enlightenment. So, my heart goes out to you, hon, and, you know, it's amazing how it kind of makes you feel like you really need to live life to the max, you know? And I've always said that, which is why I rarely turn down an opportunity. And why I cherish all my friends. Even when some of them don't cherish me. All right, moving on. How are you guys doing today? I know, Ann, you have a little bit of a cold there.
A little bit, yeah. Hanging in there.
Nat, how you holding up?
I'm good. Well,
I hear you got a good deal, huh? Coming up?
yeah, I got a pretty decent deal going up. I'm not allowed to speak about it, really.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
We're all familiar with gag orders.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, Nat is a behind-the-scenes person. She does a lot of cinematography and stuff. So being a actress and being a co-host is new for her, but she's fitting right into it.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah. So what, with all the countries you've lived in, what was your favorite food that you can't get here in America? Or I should say, can't get here where it actually tastes the way it did in the other.
I don't really know. I like a lot of different cuisines. It depends on how I'm feeling on the day.
Mm-hmm.
I miss food in Italy because I have celiac disease, and I found that when I did my study abroad there, that Italy is one of the best places in the world for celiacs.
Really?
Yeah, like 10% of the population has celiacs, probably because they actually test for everyone at birth. The government gives an additional stipend to people with celiac disease to cover the cost. and just like the law is very, very strict there about things. But they have tons of options. Like you can get gluten-free McDonald's in Italy.
Wow.
Basically anywhere, if you go to like a local mom and pop's like restaurant or something like that, they'll probably have freshly made gluten-free pasta and gluten-free pizzas that you can have. So yeah, I miss being there because I could eat very easily, and it was like I would have people compare some of the food with they being able to eat gluten and stuff. They'd be like, actually had some people be like, actually the gluten free is better actually, or the gluten free like tastes exactly the same as the regular stuff. So yeah.
My family had property in Italy, and we sold it for about 5 million lira, and I think that amounts to about what, $100 American.
Probably could have sold it for a lot more nowadays.
Yeah. But what did they usually eat for breakfast in Italy? Just out of curiosity.
People do a lot of just like pastry and like tea and coffee.
Really?
Not just like it's not necessarily a huge like thing to have breakfast as much as it is in like here in the US and things. It's very much just like, okay, you get like maybe like similarly in like France or something like that, you'd have like in France you just get a croissant or something like that and have your cafe or tea and go go along with the day.
I see. I remember the most traditional Italian breakfast here in America is eggs and pepperoni, and it is delicious. Hello, Mick. Nice to see you too. But I'm also a fan of hot dogs and eggs too. I don't know if that's had anything to do with Italy, but
Probably not.
it's another one of those traditional breakfasts that
You'll get blood orange juice.
yeah,
Blood orange juice, and that's really good in Italy.
and I've heard the cappuccino is really good there.
I mean, you go to Italy, and I think I actually like did like a little short film while I was there. Basically about a person just going into a coffee shop and trying to order coffee and finding out there's like 50 different types of coffee that you can order. There's like coffee with milk with coffee, like so many different variations of what you can get.
Yeah. The cafe au lait espresso cappuccino. So, yes, Mick, I'm working on my diet. Don't worry. We're just talking about food. I'm not eating it, okay? Nice to know you're looking out for me, though, Mick. So, pizza in Italy is different from here. I think we talked about that once before.
Yeah, I mean, you have your different crusts, and just like how in the US you have like New York style pizza, you have Chicago style pizza, you have all those different things. You have that in Italy as well with different regions. You'll have Roman pizza versus pizza from Milan. We'll have like different regencies have different styles.
I see.
You have a question.
Okay, Tim Kirst just asked a question for you, Nat.
Okay, was there any American cuisine in Italy that totally shocked you when you came to the US? I don't know. I remember going to a American diner in Italy. That was quite fun. I think anything would be a big thing would be portion sizes. Portion sizes in the US versus Italy and other places. It's in the US, everything's much bigger.
Oh,
You
it
get
is.
more of
It is.
Doesn't stop you from having huge meals in Italy. Like in Italy, going out for a meal
Uh-huh.
is a multi-hour event.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much, it's like a whole family ordeal. You'll have like a 4-course meal. You have your antipasta, which is like kind of like your starters. Then you'll have a pasta dish. Then you'll have a meat dish, and then you'll have dessert. So it's very much like an event that you sit through, and it's a very special moment. A lot of times people go out with their families, and they'll take the day to do that.
Yeah.
Just sit around and eat.
It makes me miss the Sunday dinners we used to have at my grandmother's. And she would serve the salad at the end, and people would dip the salad in the sauce left over from their meat and pasta. And she made the most amazing meatballs and pork, and it was just amazing.
A point of contention. My grandma was Italian, and something that my dad never agreed with, and I kind of agreed too, is traditionally meatballs have raisins in them. I don't know if you ever
Really?
knew that, but actually, yeah.
Not any of the ones I've ever had.
I've never had it like
Traditional
that.
meatballs have raisins in them, and personally, I feel raisins don't have a reason to exist, and they don't need to be in a lot of things that they are. But I know my dad did say, like, when he came to visit me in Italy, that he got some meatballs that had some raisins in it there, but it was like ground up into the meat rather than just like the solid pieces. They said that was okay. Actually, that actually tasted good.
Isn't it? You don't taste
But
it so much,
instead of
probably.
because you just have like the solid chunks that could come
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
I have never ever
I would never want
heard anyone say they put raisins in meatballs.
Yeah, that's the traditional format, and also meatballs tend to be like served as a like singular dish. They're not like, it's not spaghetti and meatballs. It's just meatballs.
Well, you know, they have that at Touch of Italy. You can order meatballs as just meatballs. But I guarantee you they do not, I repeat, do not have raisins in them. Nor have I ever heard of raisins in a meatball. And that is just amazing. It's like nothing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, not something that I would be down for. I remember I used to get like apple pie in South Africa, and it would have raisins in it, and I was like, why is this in here? It has no business being here.
South Africa. My country of South Africa. Anyway, I hear South Africa's a great country.
It's really pretty.
Kids can go to school barefoot there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say that like a lot of those kids are probably going to school barefoot. Probably is because they can't afford shoes.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of a difference from people like us who choose to go barefoot.
Yeah.
But we bring our shoes with us just in case. But yeah, but from all the pictures I've seen, it looks like a very beautiful country. Yeah. All right, moving on. Next, we're going to show some of the pictures and vids we have from Villacon. Now that we've gotten our tech up and running again. Anne and I attended, but your daughter goes to Villa Maria,
She
doesn't
does,
she?
yes.
So, you attended what, half the con?
Yeah, near the end. Yeah, like the second half.
Okay. So you probably didn't see a lot of what I'm going to show.
Yeah, I missed a bunch in the beginning.
Okay. When was the last time you were at a convention, Nat?
probably last year February.
Yeah. Where?
It was called Pensacon. It was down in Pensacola, Florida.
Very cool.
They had a film showing at the film festival connected to it. It was a lot of fun.
Very cool. Okay, so here we have a shot in the dealer's room. These are shots in the dealer's room. That is what you call a furry. I actually saw a little girl furried up in the movie theater yesterday, and I thought that was interesting. And I said to her, "Are you a furry?" And her father said, "No, she just likes to dress up like a cat." And I'm like, "That's what a furry is."
What movie did you go see?
The the American Society for Magical Negroes.
Huh.
It was a horrendous film, and David Allen Greer should be ashamed of himself for agreeing to do it. It's the girl from 911 too, and it just. I mean, it was an interesting concept, but it was just badly executed, especially the pacing. At some points, it slowed down so much that the people in the audience were falling asleep. You know, you can't do that when you're giving exposition. You don't want to put your audience to sleep. Here we are, some more things in the dealer's area. Yep. I love it when dealers cosplay, too. And there's some cool weapons. That one. That one's good, but it's a little blurry. And there's a couple of nice cosplayers. Don't ask me. I think the one on the left is supposed to be Princess Peach.
No, it's from Adventure Time. It's the girl on the
one with the
right side with the guitar.
Yeah.
Her name starts with an M.
Uh-huh.
The vampire, and then the other one is it something like Bubblegum Princess or something like Princess Bubblegum or something
Princess
like that.
Bubblegum.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm glad you know that. Do you know who this character is?
Character from Sailor Moon.
Really?
Is
Oh,
it?
I should have
Is it?
known that.
I'm guessing based on the costume. I've never actually seen Sailor Moon, but like I've seen.
No, it
I
doesn't.
recognize the
It could be. I don't know for
school
sure.
uniform.
Well,
I think,
yeah,
for that.
but it could be, but that doesn't specifically mean Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Princess Bubblegum. Your friend Tim says Princess Bubblegum. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there's our good friend Mark, the con share of Little Con, and some of the stuff he was selling. There's our old friend Jamie.
Oh, nice dress.
And gee, who's that crazy person, Mac? Mac, what's the matter? Are you still watching? And there's our friend Matt, the Buffalo Deadpool.
Kimmy like that.
Hmm?
Kimmy like that.
That's cool.
She loves Deadpool.
Doesn't
great.
love Deadpool much.
More of the exhibits. You know who they are? Tim says you're right, Marcellin.
Yeah. I think it almost looks like a mask that could be from Demon Slayer, but I'm not positive.
The other one looks like Black Butler to me, but I don't know for sure.
I like Black Butler. It's a
Yeah.
fun one.
I interviewed the guy who plays this Black Butler. Very nice guy.
Oh, cool.
Very nice guy. Some more nice stuff. Another Sailor Moon. Now that's definitely Sailor
Yeah,
Moon.
that's
There's no
Yes.
doubt about that one. More Heart of the Games, our good friends who run the store where we've played games. And our good buddy Matt, who runs our gaming group. Oh, more areas.
Oh, God, love a Spidey.
Yeah, that's a Spider-Man cosplay. Not sure specifically. I think he said that one was Ben, the Spider clone. I personally thought it looked like the one from Spider-Man Unlimited, but I don't know for sure. There's a nice one. Look familiar at
Is
all?
that a ghastly
Oh,
Pokemon?
very nice. Yeah. It's ghastly, you said?
I could be wrong. I think it's ghastly.
Okay. I think that's a Jedi. Oh, he said Gengar.
Oh, Gengar. Okay.
Gengar. There's a Jedi.
Oh, that one's fun.
You know what it is?
No,
Okay, me either, but I like it.
could be original.
Yeah, could be. More interesting stuff. Anything look familiar there?
No.
No? Okay.
Like a Harley Quinn type thing.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's it, but yeah, that's. Here was a couple of the gaming areas. There's a bounty hunt, Star Wars bounty hunter. Not sure what that is.
Right, pretty dressed maybe.
Yeah. Those look good. I believe that young lady is a filmmaker as well.
Oh,
This is some of the stuff they were selling at the con. Food and gaming.
that's a fun game.
Yeah. What was it?
King Domino.
Oh, okay. How about this one? Look familiar?
Is that from Genshin Impact maybe? I don't know. I haven't played Genshin Impact, but
Yeah, this is Guess the Cosplay, starring Natalie. Natalia, I'm sorry. Oh, that's an interesting one.
yeah. I don't know about that one. Mushroom Dude?
I don't know. Most of there's cousin Sherry playing one of the games. This was the Lego area. Did you see it, Ian?
No, I missed that. Yeah.
It was probably shut down by the time ago.
And I got there. It seems like right after a lot of the stuff shut down.
I like that Superman doll.
Oh,
One Piece.
Luffy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luffy from One Piece. Well, one version of it. You know, a lot of people take a character and make their own versions of it. I probably should know these two. No? Okay. Tim, do you know who they are? I probably should know. Okay, we switched over to that was part of the photographs we had. These are the photographs from the circus the other night.
That was a circus?
Yes. Well, they called it a circus. I'm not quite sure that it qualifies as a circus anymore.
I know. I was wondering how that was because I went to the ones back in the
Yeah.
day, and
It's Barnum and Bailey Circus back. I mean, after 150 some years, they went under for a while, but now they're back.
yeah.
But there were no animals. There was no clowns.
No clowns. Huh.
And
That was
there
fun.
were a few other staples that were missing. So, Tim says, I'm afraid I'm very much of an anime novice. Okay.
Yeah, I can
Me-
attest
me
to that.
too.
I started getting him into Spy X Family, which is a very fun anime.
Okay. And this is the circus that was here on Friday, and it was Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus. But like I said, it did not. It was a great show. Don't get me wrong, but it felt more like we were watching a kids variety show mixed in with America's Got Talent than watching an actual circus. So
I mean, like I've seen a lot of circus performances before that haven't had animals in it.
yeah,
But I think I have seen they usually do have like a clown or something like that.
yeah. Well, they had comedians, just not clowns. And since they couldn't do a dog act, they actually brought out a robot dog.
Oh, did they?
Wait, was it Spot
Yeah.
from Boston Dynamics? Is Spot?
I don't know. I'll get to the picture.
Cool.
Okay, let's start the pictures from the circus. Okay, these are obviously the concession stands with the heavily overpriced merchandise.
That's pretty far.
I love some candy floss.
Yeah, not with those prices. They had these lit swords that people were waving. They were $30.
Wow.
That was, as I could not eat meat as it was Friday because I'm Catholic, cheese quesadillas. Now there's the actual I want to say 3-ring circus, but it was actually 3 stages.
Yeah.
At least the one in the middle looked like a ring, as you can see.
Actually, the university I went to, Florida State, they had like one of the only circus performance, like circus groups at a university, I think in the US. So they have like a whole, right next to the stadium, they have like a full built circus, and it's a 3-ring circus. I think
Cool.
I caught one of the performances, it was quite fun.
Cool. Now here you see them dancing on the stage. And, as you can see, they were showing stuff up on the Titantron too,
Mm-hmm.
which I've never seen actually done in a circus before. And as you see, there were things going. In some points, there were things going on in all 3 circuses, and other times not. There was plenty of circus acrobats and plenty of circus performers and things like. Well, it was different. I mean, there was guys on bikes and guys doing tightrope, and almost like stuff we'd see at the Erie County Fair.
Okay.
We're back to Villacon. This is one of the videos.
We're dancing.
Yeah, this was at the Muppets panel. And that's a whole other panel when my friend Jay, who's in there, comes on to talk about the Muppets. This was the from the cosplay
Contest.
competition, and we're not getting any audio. Why are we not getting any audio? Here's why. We have there we go.
That was a nice costume. A lot of work.
Nice wizard.
Up next, we have Kaylee as Deku from My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia.
Another really good anime. That one's a lot of fun.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, you should watch it. It's quite fun.
I've heard of it, but Ann and I were
Up
in
next,
the
we have
audience.
Gengar in some Gengar armor.
Yeah, he was right.
Okay, next up, we have
Gengar.
Oh, he got it too.
The automated wings are really nice.
Yeah.
next up.
San Diego.
And that is my dear sister Michelle doing Where on Earth is Carmen San Diego. It's Carmen San Diego. Yes. She had a lot of fun with that one. We're only showing you clips, folks. We're not showing you the entire thing.
Up next, we have Anessa as Cece.
Oh. Kogias.
Up next is Malia as the Raiden Shogun. John as Darth Nyland. Nyland. Up next we have John, aka John as Tony, aka Scarface.
That's a cool Scarface cap. Oh, drugs, violent drugs.
Up next we have Treasure as the Great Saiyaman.
Any of these look familiar, Maddie?
Not yet, no, just knew the Code
Next
Geass
is
one.
Claudia as a Lethal Company employee.
That's cute.
Up next we have Monica as an alternate universe Maleficent.
I liked this one. I like when people do alternate universes of other people's characters.
Up next is Gavin as Vegeta the Force. Up next is Micah as Rudolph Ethelman von Holstein.
That was a mouthful.
Up next, we have Jordan and Molly as Anna and Queen Elsa.
One of my
That's
favorites.
cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
Oh, that's who they were.
I like the addition of the fairy wings.
Next is Stanley and Sam as Aziraphale and Crowley from Good Omens.
Oh, great show.
I think I saw it.
Very, very good show with David Tennant.
Yes,
Up
I did
next
see
is
it.
Sarah as Varian.
Of course, anything with David Tennant is good.
Oh yeah, no, but it's Michael Keaton, is it?
Yeah.
No. Great pairing of actors.
Up next, Norman as Sir Glenn, an original character.
Always love original characters.
Yeah, some of these kids need to learn to like
Next is
not just
Ella as
walk.
Marceline, the Vampire Queen.
They need to just stop and.
There
Yeah,
go.
you identified that one earlier.
Why are they running across the station?
Up next, Pyra as Master Shake. This is Matthew as Lucifer Morningstar from Has-Been Hotel.
Oh, fun. I love that show.
My daughter was just watching it.
What's it called?
Has Been Hotel.
Oh, that's who that
I'm gonna
is.
have to check that out.
Oh, the music's
Up
great.
next is Zoe from Spirit.
All of them are like very famous
Bavaria.
Broadway actors and actresses as well.
Nice.
Scarface, Star Wars reference.
Next up, we have Crow as Sammy Lawrence from Bendy and the Ink Machine.
I'm glad I was able to hold the camera as steady as
Next,
possible.
we have Keegan as Beetlejuice.
Doesn't always work. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting take on Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
All right.
Beetlejuice.
Have you seen that they're coming out with a new movie?
Yes, my
Up
daughter's
next, we have Aspen as Aradia.
We're looking forward to it.
Beetlejuice too.
Beetlejuice.
Up next is Ash as Brian.
That video game called.
Up next, we have Josh as the NCR Ranger.
Have you noticed the majority of the cosplays are either anime or video game?
Yeah. It seems to be a common theme.
Up next is Malaysia
Yeah.
as Ram.
I think big one is like anime characters and video games. Anime specifically, they have such unique
Up next is Corey
looks and
as
designs to the
Johnny.
characters. Very interesting hairstyles, very interesting characteristics. Like, especially with animes, you get a lot of like characters that have like brightly colored hair and things like that. So it makes it a lot more fun to
Up
dress
next
up as
is
those
Brandon
characters.
as Imo Hojo. We have Elizabeth as Charlie Morningstar from Hazbin Hotel.
Okay.
Brown.
Kobe Brown. PA.
We have Lydia as Chai. We have Devrick as Kuneg. Lastly, we have Shamari as Sora. And those are our contestants for this year, guys. Wow.
Yep. Those were some.
Going to
All right, these were the winners.
4 cosplay winners, guys.
So, did I hit the wrong button? I think I did. Okay, there we go. All right, we're back up. So what did you think of what you saw of the con?
It looked like fun. I'm sad I missed it.
Yeah, it was before we met you. Not too much before, but before.
I think it was actually the weekend of the first
Oh wait,
podcast I was on.
Oh, that's right, it was. I
It was,
remember
'cause-
telling you about it, and you said you were going to try to make it. But
Yeah,
you weren't able to.
Yeah, I had something going on that day.
Yeah. Well, that was only a small part of what you saw because there was other good panels. There was the trivia contest, which was great. Even though my team got whipped by a professor and a robot. And there was board games in one area, RPGs in another. There was the prototype room. I mean, it was a great con. And I suggest everyone visit it next year. Hopefully they'll put karaoke back in. And if they decide to put the dance back in, let's hope they get somebody to run it who's a little better.
I haven't seen any with it.
The comedy show the year before was not that great, so maybe it's best we leave that one out. So
They put an improv group back in. I feel like you have tons of people that do improv here in Buffalo.
yeah, but if the people are good,
Yeah.
these people the last 2 years ago, I personally did not care for them, but you know. I love the Lego room. I always do. There was a lot of other good things at the con, and it was very friendly and very hospitable, which is always good for a convention. Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't make it. I'm sorry you only made half of it. Like You missed the Muppets.
I know I missed a lot.
That was a great panel. I'm serious, it was. There was a lot of gaming going on here, there, and everywhere. So, as far as the circus goes, I just don't think. I mean, like I said before, it was a great show. I mean, there was things like people were basically doing dance numbers, and they were doing jump ropes. They were getting on unicycles that were about 30 feet tall.
I heard about that. They were talking
Yeah.
about that on the news beforehand.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't, not having the elephants and the lions and a lot of the others, I didn't, sorry folks, we're all taking medicine to avoid getting sick.
Yeah.
It's making us all a little
Knocking us out.
drowsy. So I would say it's a good show and I recommend it, but I don't know if they should call it a circus. I mean, I went and when I got home, I went and watched the circus episode of Quantum Leap, where he talked about the difference between a mud show / carny and an actual circus, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, what's in for the future. I mean, the animals aren't being used because the insurance went up so bad for them. Plus, the animal rights activists don't help. And the not having clowns, that was kind of strange. I mean, but a lot of the dance numbers and things and the high wire act and at one point we had 4 high wire acts going on at the same time, and that was interesting. So I don't know. I mean, Ian, do you think you would have enjoyed it even without those staples?
I don't know. I'm kind of used to the old way.
Yeah.
Probably not.
What do you think, Nat?
I mean, personally, to me, that sounds like a circus. What you went to go see. From everything I've seen, it sounds very much like a circus. Makes me think of like Cirque du Soleil performances I used to go see. Circus performances I used to go see in South Africa or in Chile were very much like what you are describing. The acrobatics, I think, is very much a part that will very much translate into that circus field to me. I don't think you necessarily need to have the animals there. I like the fact that animals aren't necessarily forced to do some of the stuff that they used to be done, because a lot of time when they were in that type of situation, they weren't necessarily in the best living conditions and such. And I can understand why some of those things were cut to help the protect the safety of those animals, and ensure their health.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess everyone's gonna have to make their own decisions, and I don't know. I guess clowns are becoming more like monsters for horror movies than they are for actual fun children's things.
I mean, but besides like the clown thing, yeah, I think that is one thing that was missing from that. I would say that would be a staple that, from the sounds of it, was missing.
Mm-hmm. But I guess everyone's gonna have to make their own decision on that one.
Yeah, mine are kind of thought it was mine. Same thing.
Yeah. So moving on, last week I was able to see the new Ghostbusters movie, and I was very impressed with it. I mean, of the 5 movies, I'd say this one is second only to the original.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's very well done. I mean, Paul Rudd does a great job playing a Ghostbuster, and all the original characters are back, except for Egon, who is of course dead. Although that didn't keep him from being in the last movie. Harold Ramis passed away before the movie, so he was portrayed as a ghost in the previous movie. Rick Moranis' character of Lewis was missing, but he really didn't need to be there. After the first movie, I didn't expect to ever see him again, but they threw him into part of one of the TV series, and they had him in the second movie, and
It was a Ghostbusters TV series?
it was 3.
Wow. I
It
didn't.
was Real Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters Extreme, and Slimer. They were all animated.
Okay.
Yeah. They haven't done a live action, if that's what you mean.
No, just in general, I didn't know about the TV
Yeah.
show.
Lewis was only in part of a season following the second movie, I guess. And the third movie, of course, took place in the alternate universe where...
The female version?
yeah. And your friend Tim is talking about the original iteration with 2 guys and an ape. Yeah, that was done by our old friends Sid and Marty Krofft, starring Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch as Kong, Jake Kong and Eddie Spencer. Now, they were together on a show called F Troop. So they were brought in to work together again on Ghostbusters, along with a gorilla named Tracy, who was tamed by Bob Burns, which was funny because it was actually Bob Burns in a costume, but they thought they'd make the audience believe it was really a gorilla. But either that or they did it just to be funny. But and that was done during the 70s. And I recently rewatched those, and they're still funny. And the fact that they had all those big actors at the time guest starring on this kids' TV show was something. But it doesn't hold up as well, technically speaking. But you got to watch it for what it is, which was comedy. But when they made the animated TV series back in the 80s, which featured their sons and Tracy and a bunch of other new characters, it was actually really good. But in both cases, you're dealing with a set bunch of villains. Like in the live action version, you had basically a bunch of villains from old storybooks and things. And in the new cartoon, they had a main villain, Primeval, and he had all these ghost villains who they would fight every week, and occasionally run into new villains and stuff. But Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters, most of the time dealt with a more scientific and realistic view of ghostbusting, if you can call it that, I guess. I don't suppose you've seen any of it, Ian?
No,
No?
just the original
The original what?
movie.
Movie?
Yeah.
Okay. There was a lot of, in this new movie, there was a lot of nods to the original
Was there?
movie.
I'll have to check it out.
I don't want to give out any spoilers, but the young actress that plays Phoebe, she is amazing as an actress. Her character was just phenomenal. And I think she has the same hairdo as you. But having Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, Bill Murray, and Dan Aykroyd together again was just great. And Slimer is in the movie. Stay Puft is in the movie. Oh, Sigourney Weaver didn't get her cameo this time around. I wonder why. I highly recommend this film, and I wish they hadn't waited till Harold Ramis died before they made another one. But as it keeps going, it's doing really well. And I hope, I don't know how much longer the originals are going to be involved, but we definitely have this new team of Ghostbusters, and they introduced another new character. So, and a whole bunch of new things that we had not seen previous. But they, like I said, they always used more realistic technology, whereas the Ghostbusters originals used more fantasy technology, like the ghost dematerializer or the ghost gummer or the ghost snare, or let's use a ghost rope and a ghost net. I mean, come on, people. And the worst part of it was the ghost dematerializer sent them into a limbo dimension, but only for a little while. They would eventually escape. And I'm like, that kind of defeats the purpose of busting a ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about that type of like fantasy type thing, the first thing that comes to mind is the bat shark repellent from Batman.
Well, I mean, I don't know what was worse about that. The fact that they were able to pull anything they needed out of their belts with the word bat on it, or the fact that when they needed something, they would say, get the bat this, and this, and he'd say, I left it in the Batmobile. So we got him. It's kind of like when he and Batgirl were in Lord Fogg's chamber, and they said they had to throw a rope up. And she goes, you're going to use your batarang? And he goes, I left it in the Batmobile. And I'm like, why would he leave his batarang in the Batmobile, first of all? Second of all, doesn't she have one? Apparently not.
I just love it in the Lego Batman movie. They kind of made fun of some of that stuff. When they're like, he was like touching where Robin's touching everything, and then he's like, don't touch that, don't touch that. He goes to touch the bat shark repellent, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, that thing's useless. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, he had some interesting things in the back of your universal drug antidote pills. Everything. Somehow he was able to pull something with the word bat on it out of his utility belt for every single occasion. And at one point you have Catwoman saying, he's got a regular hardware store in that belt of his. And at one point, you have Robin saying, "Here's the what they said. The utility belt saved us again." So it's like somehow. I mean, that's actually true in every iteration of Batman. Somehow he always pulls something out of his glove or out of his tooth or something that allows him to escape.
Honestly, I think that's just a DC thing, because like if you think about like DC originally. With Superman, he has so many different powers because they originally were just giving him whatever power they thought he needed at the moment, and so like there's even like I heard of like one time where they gave him super sewing abilities so that he could quickly sew an American flag for something.
Well, that was him just using his super speed. That wasn't a new power. I mean. But I mean, like, occasionally he gains new powers and then loses them. Like, in one story, he had mind over matter, but it only, like, he could think of something and create it. But that only lasted for the one story because he was exposed to a certain radiation. At one point, he had the power to create a miniature version of himself and throw it out of his hand. I would love to see that comic and figure out what the hell they did with that one. But I mean, at one point he had magnetic powers, and I mean, basically Superman is the Kryptonian. They finally revealed the Kryptonians are psychic, so that's why, even pre-Crisis, so that's why they're able to gain all these new powers and lose them and everything, because the sunlight charges up their powers. They used them to survive on Krypton, but when they came to Earth and got charged up by the light gravity and the white yellow sun, they began to be able to do all this stuff. Like flying is them doing telekinetic flying or super strength or telekinetically lifting things.
If he's
or,
psychic, can you read people's minds now as well? Because that's like usually the base version of what
at
psychic is.
some point, that comes and goes with people. Like there was at least one villain that did have that power
Okay.
and the power to mess with people's heads. But we could do an entire show just based on this. So if you want to do it, we'll do it next show. Because we've only got 40 seconds left, unfortunately. We got through everything I wanted to get through. So, and it's great having you as always.
Thank you.
Nat, you are a wonderful admission to this family. Thank you.
I could be a part of this.
And I want to thank my friends at Villacon for allowing me to take pictures and videos. And Barnum and Bailey Circus for finally coming back from the dead. So for the Oracle of Enlightenment, this is the Observer Sal Monaco saying, have a nice Easter as this is Holy Week. So, and be safe and try not to get sick like everybody else.
Right.